and
It should say, it came up last time with your name saying Devin, there you go. Needs to, there we go. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me share it. How do I get back to that?
you're live.
And
Say hi to Bo.
live
Bo is watching.
I'm going live right now on the network.
Okay, cool.
You're approved. Go ahead.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. All right,
Wow,
everybody.
we're live apparently.
Wow, we made it. Thank you for bearing with us. Welcome to the first day of the Quarantine Network. We're very excited to be here. I'm Devin, and this is my lovely wife, Karissa. We're going to be doing some art today, specializing with materials that most likely you have around the house. So Karissa's going to go over some of those with you real quick.
Okay, so first of all, we're technically making a painting, but if you only have pencils, you're going to be making a drawing because we're going to start with a drawing. But if you do have something like a paper plate, we're going to use that as a palette. If you do have a couple little tubes of any kind of paint, be it acrylic, watercolor, oil, ink, we're using some basic red, yellow, and blue paint, black and white. I also have a Sharpie because I know a lot of people have just markers in home. So if you have even just one color Sharpie, you're still going to be able to draw your pet. Lastly, I wasn't expecting anyone to have a slew of paintbrushes laying around. So if you can go to your bathroom counter, grab some Q-tips. These are actually, besides your finger, this is what we are going to be painting with. And that's how we're going to make our pets today. So we're going to give you a couple minutes to go take a look and see if you have these things lying around. Uh-oh, we got something leaking over
Oh,
there.
yes, I've already spilled. We've just gone 5 minutes in.
Okay.
So we're going to take a second to also thank the Quarantine Network. We're very excited to be a part of that. It's a pretty cool thing. There's a lot of people that are going through the same thing right now, and so we're trying to make the best this time and have some fun and maybe learn some new skills, all that good stuff. So we also want to thank our sponsor, Calafino Tequila. This is a fine product. I could say they are a local company. They're not some rich dude that decided he wanted to start a tequila company. This has been homegrown. It's a quality product. I will be testing it throughout the broadcast to assure its quality. And here's the thing. They're doing home delivery right now for free, which at this time, a lot of people don't want to go out. This dude will come to your door. They're sanitary. They're very clean. They're a great price. And if you order, we have a discount code in the description, and that is going to get you a nice little price break on that and delivered to your house. So that link is in the description. So check that out. And we're ready to maybe start doing some art here. And I'm going to hand it over to the lovely Karissa.
All right, thanks, Dad. So what we're going to do is we tried to get our cat to pose for you so I could show you how to sketch, but that lasted a second. So what we can do is use a picture that you have in front of you. This is a pretty basic sketch, a basic outline. I even manipulated the photos that I used, and we came up with just some really basic linear outline of a pretty non-realistic looking animal. So it's just going to be for fun. This is for anyone, any age, again with any medium you have in front of you. So I'm going to have everyone first just grab a pencil. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see my pencil marks, but I'm going to still show you and press hard either way. And we're just going to start. I know not everyone has a cat and a dog. So what
baby, if I may, I'm sorry. I have our cat, and we can use him as a live model. He is right here. And
where is he?
He's.
I might have gave
him too much. Ooh. He's gonna sleep for a little while.
Okay. So I'm gonna do the demo. I'm gonna kind of do both as we go, and I know not all dogs look like that, and not all cats look like that. So yours are going to turn out how your pets look, okay? So just basically, I'm going to start with the cat's head. It's going to be more of an oval shape. So I'm going to do the cat demo down here. So up in the top portion, top half of your piece of paper, by the way, this is just a piece of computer paper. If you are lucky and have a canvas instead, good for you. Okay, so next we're doing an oval. So I'm gonna press hard so you can see this. I'm going around and around until I get a perfect shape. And then the next thing I wanna do for this cat is just add some ears. Pretty basic for a cat. If you're doing your dog, the dog's face for this guy, he's a Wheaten Terrier, his name is Gus. He's gonna have a different oval shape. This cat was kind of more of a landscape oval. This one is gonna be more of like a portrait and his head's bigger. So I'm gonna start again in this top half of my piece of paper and I'm gonna go ahead and make a little bit of a diagonal oval. I'm gonna keep doing that again so you can see it. My pencil marks are showing up nicely.
Gus is a real dog, by the way.
He is. I got to take him for a walk this morning.
And this is a delicious tequila.
Cheers. Okay, so our cat has ears. Our dog, let's go ahead and put his ear on too. This is, again, we're just doing basic shapes right now. When we get to the real outline, it's gonna look more like fur and more like a real animal, okay? So for our dog, my ear is gonna come off of the side of the oval. You can go a couple times in case you're not sure about your first line. This is just pencil. If you're using pencil, it's easy to erase. Or we're just gonna paint over it. Easy to cover up pencil. Okay, I wanna go back down to the cat body. I'm gonna do the two sides of the body first, and we'll just do those in two kind of like hourglass shapes. So from the bottom of the head, I'm going to extend. Whoop.
Thanks to everyone that's watching,
One
by the
shape.
way. We getting a good crew of people and some old friends and some new friends. So thanks everybody.
Whoa. Don't worry if your lines are getting out of control. We're gonna erase stuff that we don't like.
Oh, and by the way, also, I know everyone is struggling right now. A lot of people are out of work. My wife is an art teacher that does a lot of lessons at restaurants and bars, and I myself was a bartender, so everyone's struggling. If you guys want to help out, there's a link in our description to leave a tip on PayPal, or is it Venmo?
We don't have to talk about tipping until the end.
Well, you know,
especially
whatever.
if you
Just
don't like how your animal
throwing it
turns
out there now. Anything helps, but we know everyone's hurting, so we're all going to get through this together. So thanks, everybody.
Okay, thanks, Deb. So for the cat, he's kind of got this funny little hourglass shape for right now. Let's just finish the legs, and then I'm going to skip up back to the dog, and we're going to do something fun to his face and his mouth. So for the cat, we have these two, if this isn't wide enough, kind of widen it at the bottom, because these are going to be the 2 feet. So from here, I'm just going to simply kind of follow my other lines here. So now he's got 2 arms. We're going to get rid of all those extra lines in a little bit. So it should look pretty sketchy right now. If it's looking a little messy, you're doing the right thing. I promise.
Hey, cuz. Your cousin from New York says hi.
Hey, Erica. Thanks for tuning in. I'm not sure where to look, but keep following along. So for my doggy, the next thing I want to do, so we have its head, we have its ear. I want to put in this little front nose, kind of front little muzzle. If you can think about what a bean looks like, it's going to be an upside down bean. So right around the lower portion of the face, I'm just going to draw like literally like a jelly bean shape. Something that looks kind of like a jelly bean. Or a kidney bean. But some pieces around the corner. After we get that shape in here, I'm really trying to darken my lines. If you can keep your lines a little bit more light, it'll just be easier to erase in the end. But that's the shape for the moment. Depending on your dog, maybe he has a smaller mouth or nose.
We all hear the
This
stories
is
of
again
the
just,
news.
whoops.
The
Sorry,
good
guys.
guy uses a gun to protect his family.
Wow. Live. We're doing it live. We're doing it live.
The next thing I want to do is put a nose, kind of an ovally, or like if you can think about what a strawberry might look like, kind of like a guitar pick shape, something like that. again, if your dog has a small, tiny nose, it's not gonna be this big. So kind of, if you have your picture in front of you, look at what you have. I hope these are going a little bit smoother, but again, this is just one type of dog. So maybe you're just making Gus today, if you're following these instructions. The next thing I wanna do is, I just wanna put in his little eyes here. This one is an oval on the side. You're only seeing half the eye. The other one we can just put a circle here, and then I'm gonna just trail a little tear duct. So now he looks like a little bit more like a dog right now, right? Hopefully. Okay. Let's let him sit and think about things for a minute. Whoa. Hey, Gus. Let's move back down to, whoa, all right. Getting vicious.
Sorry.
Here. Let's move back down to our kitty cat. I want to put in the little hind legs and its tail, and then his body will be done, okay? So looking down towards the base here, hopefully the table's not in the way too much. I'm going to go ahead and put the little legs that curve out and kind of hit the feet, and on this side as well. A line that curves out and hits the feet. Now the cool thing about this cat is we're going to put the tail in front of the feet, and then I'll show you how to put the little toes at the end. So it's a little easier to get away with, you know, a little bit more here. So it looks like it's sitting on its tail. So after we have this bottom here, I'm just going to put a line, this is tail that's wrapped around his body. Oh, okay, great. And I do want to erase that just a little bit so you can kind of see a little, you know, more so that the tail is in front of the legs instead of it getting a lot of lines are confusing to look at. So
send some comments, guys. Let's have some fun.
Okay.
What have you guys been doing meanwhile while you're holed up in your house? How have you been passing the time? We watched Tiger King. That was amazing.
That was a good one. Okay, let's finish the kitty cat's toes. I know this is going to be hard to see, but I'm just doing 1, 2, 3 little loops on one hand and 1, 2, 3 little loops on the other. That's great. We won't overthink that. I will let you guys catch up in just a minute. I want to put the little nose and the 2 eyes on the cat, and then the cat will be almost finished for the outline, and then we can actually start painting. So next thing, I want to put right in the middle, kind of on the lower bottom portion of my face, a chin. Just kind of like an upset, well, like a U, little smashed U. And then I want to go ahead and put a little central nose. It's just going to be a V, a little line, and then I put a little smiley face on the end because I want it to be a happy cat.
It's a nice looking cat.
So far, so cat. Next, we're just making the traditional cat eyes.
Oh yeah, I've been working on one too. I'll show you guys at the end how it turns out.
It's looking pretty good.
But
yeah, I like that.
we'll try.
But no spoilers. You can't see Devins until the end.
Working with minimal materials here, so like we all are.
Is tequila your medium?
It helps. Especially this fine Califino tequila. Again, discount code in the link. Check it out. This is delivered to your house. It's amazing stuff. Great way to spend the quarantine.
It is.
Woo!
Cheers.
And this reposado is.
I'll get mine after we're done with the lesson.
She gets 1 shot when she's done. She's good.
Okay, so finishing up the cat, I just want to put a couple circles on the middle for the eyes, right in the middle of those eyeball shapes. So just 2 circles. If you're working on the cat, please take your time. I know I did that really quickly, but I'm doing 2 demos. So catch up, take your time, erase any lines that you don't like, create new lines that you want in. Let's go ahead and scoop back up to Gus, and we're going to finish him. So Gus needs a body. From this bottom part here, the chin, you can make it longer or shorter depending on what kind of dog you're using. And I just want to go ahead and just put a loose kind of body here. It's getting a little bigger in the middle, but that's okay. Everybody's indoors and eating a lot these days, so.
Everyone, my mom is watching, so be cool. Hi, Mama. Love you.
So we got the front part of the dog. Let's put in the back here. I didn't put any legs or anything in. If you want to add legs and a tail, this is your painting. Go for it. So kind of in between like the halfway point of the ear, I'm gonna start the back. Just kind of put in a couple little broken lines like that. Okay, so now he's got a body. And then I put in, he's really got a lot of curly fur. So I'm putting in these little kind of curly definitions. Those are gonna be fun lines that we are just gonna trace over with the paint. So I'm just setting those in ahead of time, okay? He's almost done. I just wanna put a couple more little things on Gus so he starts looking a little bit more like he's got curly fur. So we've got his body. His head doesn't really look like that in real life. So what I first wanted to do is off the nose, I'm gonna put these hairs because he's really got funny hair in the front. And I'm also gonna retrace the jelly bean muzzle and put some fringy fur down here. And I'm just going right over my other lines. Hopefully yours aren't as dark as mine, but we'll be erasing some of that so it's a little cleaner looking. I can even show you right now. Just again, because it's confusing to look at a lot of lines, especially when you're sketching. Okay, that's cleaned up.
Hey Ash, and the tequila is again Calafino.
Calafino.
There is a link in our description below, and that's going to get you a discount delivered to your home for free. So
That's great.
check it out. I don't know if Borrego applies.
Good to know. It's good to know they're doing their part during these hard times. Looking out for the
we ought to look out for each
greater
other.
whole, you know.
We're all doing what we can do, and
Amen, Sister Friend. All right, let's finish Gus. So we've got this funny little fur. You can go ahead and go along the chin too, and I'm putting in this really kind of jaggedy, furry, kind of curly fur. And I'm also going to do that around that face on the outside here, and I want to do that along the ear, so it's not so clean and crisp looking. The next and last step for him is we're going to put in, he's got a lot of funny hairdos, curly, messy, spiky fur. So I just kind of went up and over my line. You can still see my oval, but I'm kind of growing his fur off of his little noggin. So now that I have that shape in there, he does look a little bit more realistic. I'm going to try, and I have a little eraser. If you have an eraser on the back of your pencil, just do a quick little cleanup for yourself so you can't really get confused as to what your real lines are going to be. And I'm just doing this quickly. I'm, even erasing some of my other lines, but we're going to be painting all over this, so that's okay. Whether you're working on the dog or the cat, at this point, hopefully we've had enough time to catch up. I'll give you a little bit more time for the dog. I'll clean up the kitty cat a little bit.
if anyone's having trouble, send it in. If
Yeah, let
anyone
us
has
know.
questions, type it in the comments.
For the love of God, Karissa,
Yeah, we're
slow
here for
down.
you. Let's make this live. We're trying to make it live. Let's interact. Let's all have a little fun.
Don't be scared.
As for myself, I'm drawing the cat, and so mine's turning out all right. I kind of zoomed in a little bit, but we'll see how
It's
it goes.
looking pretty good.
Yeah,
Maybe-
we're trying. I have all I'm doing. I have one pen, so it's going to be an
It
interesting
looks
thing.
pretty good. I'm excited for you guys to
Thanks.
see his
Yeah, it should
artwork.
be all right. I haven't done it in a while,
Forever.
so thank you.
What else would you be doing right now,
Right?
So cleaning up, cleaning up, cleaning up. Okay.
Oh, we love tequila too.
We do. Okay.
So I'm working my way down the aisle here. I might be trying to crack the añejo. They also do, apparently they do an extra añejo, which is, all of them are, this is a top quality product here, guys. So, let me try and get this open. Anyway, again, check out Calafino Tequila.
Check it out,
Everyone
guys.
probably knows people that are involved with this company. They're homegrown, local dudes. They're freaking awesome. It's not George Clooney's tequila. It's not The Rock's tequila. Anyway, back to Chris.
Okay. So hopefully what we've ended up with are some pretty clean looking lines. I just brought these. Hopefully you can see one of these. I think the sketch is dark enough, but the next thing we should do is decide on what color your background is going to be. I'm using these tiny little tubes of acrylic paint. I just have red, yellow, and blue. I'm going to pour some out. If you have just a marker, you can still shade your background. You can put detail or like some kind of print in your background. It's totally up to you. if you liked these colors, you can do the light blue background for the kitty cat and the orange background for the dog. Again, you're not limited to those colors. You can make green. Green is a little yellow and a little blue. If you want to make a purple background, that would be some red and blue mixed. And I'm just saying the colors because even if you have a red and blue crayon, you can still make purple. Even if you have a yellow and a blue crayon, you can still make green. So, okay. The fun thing for this is we only have a little bit of time left. The same steps for the cat. So you're doing your background color, whether it's orange, light blue, purple, green. You're coloring it in the best you can. You can use your finger. If you have a brush, you can use your brush. You have a Sharpie. You can put some crazy scribbly texture in the background. Crayons too, whatever you have. I know I mentioned nail polish too in the description, but
I saw a note that says the broadcast was interrupted. I don't know if, oh, wait, I don't know. Are we back? Oh, we're here. Some tasty notes on this añejo. Delicious.
delicious. We're happy about that.
Now, which one did you want to try at the end?
Okay, guys. So again, just because we're running low on time, that you can see that I just did that pretty quickly with my finger. I do want to show you some more little instruction before we run out of any time. So next, you can work on your background too after we are no longer live. So take your time with background. There's no rush. Now that you see it, you can just literally smear it on with your hand. The next step I want to have you do is you can either take a brush or the Q-tip, which is my brush. I'm dipping it into blue, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these little tiny dots, and I'm going all and retracing all over my sketch pencil marks that I can still see. And they're really close together. This is a technique called stippling, and that means tiny little dots. So I'm just going to go and start and retrace all my pencil lines. You can kind of do this quickly. You can make them thicker dabs of paint if you want that to, be thicker. You can be more dainty with tiny little pinprick points if you'd like that look too, but we're going all over every pencil mark, even on your cat. And it doesn't have to be blue, it can be any color you like. This is just one way to eat a Reese's. So I'm just doing this pretty quickly, and you can too. It's just bouncing the little Q-tip around, and you probably only dip into the paint, once every few brush strokes. And I'm literally just tracing my pencil marks.
One of the many things that Q-tips can be used for.
We weren't sure if everyone would have brushes today, so for our next week's lesson or later this week, we can show you some
send
other
us comments
techniques.
too
Yeah,
about
let us
if
know.
you guys have random stuff at your house and you want to see how you can use it. Let us know. We'll figure it out. We're not expecting anyone to have crazy art supplies because most people
You
just
can't
don't have
get
that.
it,
So
and we're
and also
quarantined.
yeah, and you can't necessarily go down to the local art store, which
You
anyway.
can still order online from Michael's. And if anyone is
For
interested
now.
in a detailed list, I'll send you some stuff.
for now.
For now. Conspiracy theory. Okay, so obviously there's a lot of dots to be done. I'm not going over anything that's not here. I'm just tracing all my pencil. I kind of like the fast dabby kind of smeary looks. This one's a little bit more cookie cutter, but I don't know. This one's turning out more like a real paintbrush. And so I'm going to go over on the eyes real quick. And I know that I'm going very quickly.
You guys, also this is you can watch this again and rewind it if we're moving too fast. Time is kind of limited. The TQN has a full broadcast schedule for today.
Check them all out.
We are
too, 'cause
working
they're all
our way
fun.
through. Everyone on this network is awesome. It's an awesome group of people working together to try to
It
make
is.
our way through these crazy times, and let's keep doing it.
But one last step, I know you guys can see here for you. So I did the eyes, I went over the nose. I want to go over his little mouth a little. And then I'm just going to do a real loose little kind of pattern texture to make it look like curly little fur. again, if you have a dog that does not have that kind of fur, you can do a different pattern. And just look at the picture you have. And you also know what your dog looks like, or your cat. So design this pattern of fur after the photo you have in front of you, or after your cat that's sitting still perfectly while you paint it.
These days, your dog or cat is probably sick of seeing you so much.
I
It has,
know
it has
ours
a
is.
schedule that it's figured out, and now it's been disrupted.
How we doing on time, babe?
We're winding down. Again, we just want to thank the TQN, the Quarantine Network. Excited to be a part of it. We want to thank everybody that's been involved with it. There's some awesome people. Stay tuned. There's a lot of amazing stuff coming up. So also Calafino Tequila, discount code below. Amazing product. I am working my way through, and they're all delicious. Let me say. So again, local company, they're awesome, and thank them for being a part of this. If you guys want to help out, everyone's struggling right now. Everyone's working hard. Or actually, most people are not working at all. So if there is a link, if you guys want to tip something below, that'd be awesome. We're not expecting it. We're doing this for fun. If it turned into something else, that's great, because honestly, we're sitting around with nothing else to do. Well, anyway, so thank you all very much.
Well, that's
And
tiny.
we have a couple more steps. We're
Nope,
gonna
one
wind
last
this down. But again, thanks to TQN, Calafino Tequila, link below to tip. So
And
thank you.
very last step is I did pour a tiny dab of white. I swapped over to a new end of my Q-tip, and I just wanted to put a tiny little dot of white paint, right in the middle of his eyes. That kind of got a little crazy, but do a little lighter pressure for that. Hopefully your dog and cat turns out wonderful. Send us pictures. We'd love to hear from you.
Oh, do you want to see the one I worked on?
Yeah, show your
So
your
I
art,
did the
Devin.
cat, guys.
Devin did a pretty good job.
Mine's not very good, but
Yeah.
I'm just working with the one pen I had.
Wow, look
Yeah,
at that.
and that is our cat. That's Mitch. And,
He drew that during our session here, so hats go off to you.
I try my
Thanks
best.
for tuning in,
It's
guys.
just a sketch.
We'll be back
guys,
a couple more times this week.
Stay tuned. We're gonna be back. We're not going anywhere. We're here. We're gonna be back. We're figuring out the schedule. TQN is new, and we're all figuring this out as we go. But we're excited to be a part of it. And stay tuned. That's the main thing. So thank you all very much for being here. And
Yeah.
we love you guys. Actually, we have one more. We have 1 minute. 1 minute
Oh.
to fill.
You can always sign your artwork too at the end.
Sign it.
I'm gonna do a K and a V. Also, another fun, a little added thing. I really love glitter these days. If you can lay this flat and sprinkle some glitter on here, get a nice frame made or bought for your canvas or your painting or your paper. It's just something you can hold on to. Everyone's gonna want to know who made that painting.
I do
And
not
you'll get to
recommend
let them
glitter.
know. Well, we're outside, so. Hey, thanks so much, guys, again.
Love you guys.
We'll be coming back to you with another new project. Some stamping is going to be next.
All right.
Right.
Again, send us descriptions of what you got for art projects to use. We'll figure something out.